Hey everybody, Sandy here. Today we're going to work on a 20-ounce modern curve tumbler, and it's a dual, which means that it has two different lids that go to it. Before we get into it, I just want to introduce you to, this is my mascot, the rat. And I know I'm talking too much about my new channel name, but I'm so excited about it. Anyway, this is the mascot for our new channel name. And I haven't named him yet, but I will take suggestions. He's brass, and let me tell you something. I had to work my brass off to get him nice and shiny. He was dark, and it took me almost a whole day to get him down to his shiny brass as much as I could. There's still spots, but who cares? He's cute. So you're going to see him in videos. You're going to see him in my thumbnails. And so, yeah, this is my new mascot, my little brass rat. So, isn't he cute? Anyway, let's put him aside here. He can just sit and watch. Hopefully we don't get him all gunked up, but if we do, I know the lady who can clean him. Ta-da. Okay, so let me get settled here. And what we're going to do now, this cup was an inspiration that I saw on a TikTok video. And no, it wasn't a cup. It was a purse. It was somebody was doing a try-on, and, you know, which outfit should I wear, blah, blah. If you watch TikTok, then you know what I'm talking about. And although I'm not a handbag purse person, I mean, I carry a handbag, but I'm not all into the whole designer thing. But this, when I saw this one bag, it struck me, and I thought, ooh, that would look really cool on a tumbler. So, what are we going to do? We're going to try to make it. And it had, now you're going to, if you look inside, you're going to see that I have marked where my lid is going to sit as far as when it's screwed on, where you're going to sip from. And that's really important to do when you are using one that has the screw-on lids, because there's nothing worse than having your design here when your drinking spout ends over there. I hope that makes sense to you. But when you screw it on, you know, you want it so that your design is at least going to show from this side, right? So what I did, and I do this with these tumblers, I have quite a few of them. There is in the lid there, I don't know if I can really show you, but I'm going to try. There's little seams where the mold made the tops, and you can just barely see them in there, but that'll give you your center spot on your tumbler if you didn't know that. And all I do is figure out where they are after I screw it on, and I get it on nice and tight, not overly tight. And then I take a marker and I mark the inside, because I know I'm going to be working on the outside and I don't want to fiddle with what could happen here. So I mark it on the inside, and then I can just wipe it off with alcohol or acetone, which, I mean, we have to do cleanup anyway. So that's how I did that. What we're going to do is we're going to use, I have this leopard fabric that I bought a while ago at Walmart. And it was just one of those squares things, and I think they're like, I don't know, I think they're like 98 cents or maybe $1.98, something like that. I don't remember exactly. And you get a pretty good sized piece. This is just a piece off of the piece, and I think it might be like a half yard. Not positive, but they just have them all folded up near the cutting station, and so I took it from this. I took my stripes from this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Mod Podge, and I'm going to, you guessed it, I'm going to fabric my design onto my cup the way I want it to go on, and I'm going to do 2 stripes of that. And the color that's on here is Rustic Pink, I believe, by Rust-Oleum. I did paint it the wrong color. I grabbed candy pink and I thought I had this rustic pink, and I didn't, so I had to paint over that. But yeah, I like this color for this design that we're going to be doing. We'll be doing Sunkissed by the Glitter Horse Store, which is more of a champagne, and I think that'll go okay with this and not overpower it. And of course the black. So, all that being said, we're going to put that aside. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just going to put a little bit more in here. And when I use it and I don't, you know, if I pour, oh, I just flung that across the room. Well, if I don't use it all up, whatever I have in the cup, I just put another plastic cup over top of it nice and tight, and it stays just fine. Okay, for starters, I think we're going to paint onto this. I don't normally do that, but because this is going to be angled and I don't want to fluff around with it going every which way. I'm just going to do it over top of a paper towel because why not? There, I'm going to snip this right about there. The width of this fabric is 1 5/8 inches long, or wide, I'm sorry. And of course the length is going to be determined by the size of your tumbler, the height of your tumbler. So, you know, that's going to change, but this is the width that we're doing. 1 5/8. Doesn't have to be exact where we snip the length because we're doing a little bit over. All right, now we can get started. Now that I've talked my way through it, right? And I'm going to just put the Mod Podge on here, work it into the fabric a bit, because this is a cotton fabric. You want the Mod Podge to soak into your fabric pretty well, because if you don't have the Mod Podge on there actually creating a protective barrier to your fabric, you're going to wind up with dark spots from your resin, because your resin is going to go through quite easily. And you're going to have dark and light spots, and you don't want that. But you know, you have another chance after you do this, just this bottom layer, or the bottom coating, I should say, of the fabric. You have several more chances to seal it from the top end of it. Reason being is you're going to want to do it anywhere from 3 to 5 coats of Mod Podge on the outside of it. And I hope, as I'm talking away here, I hope I'm on camera. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard for me to judge where I am. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to grab our cup and move this, pick up our strip, and judging from where I have my mark, let me just double check and make sure that we're in. Let me put that where I need it to be, because it doesn't do you any good if I'm not where you need to see. All right, what am I looking at here? Okay, here's the front. We want the front to come to this mark here and over it just a little bit, not too much. I'm not sure how far in I need it to go just yet, but that'll all be cut off. I want to begin to drape this and then smooth it out. And because I did saturate the underside pretty well, it's slippery out here, which is good. It's fine, not a problem. And so then it's just laying right down nicely for me. Now, this part has got to go. All right. So I'm going to snip this part off because I don't want it to wrinkle every time I set the cup down. And yes, I'm going to use my good scissors here, and don't tell anybody in my family because I have a fit if they even look at them crossways. But I will clean them off. I will. Okay. Now, that'll be cut off as well when we get to that point. I don't anticipate that staying there because it's just going to keep buckling. I don't really want to snip it to keep it there. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. I don't know. I may decide differently. But because it's got enough glue on it, it's behaving itself. And I'm going to go ahead and get the other side on, and then I'll come back and I will glue the outside of this with the Mod Podge again. For the most part though, this is stuck in there pretty good. I probably should give it a little zhuzh here. There we go. We're back and we're ready to tackle this. Now I did make, well, I didn't make a mistake, but I did inform you of the wrong colors on here. The glitter that we're going to use, now I said we were going to use the Sun-Kissed. What I've done is I have grabbed my So Salty, again from the Glitter Horse store, and I mixed that Sun-Kissed gold in with the So Salty white to make an off-white glitter. As I looked at the picture of the item that I took the inspiration from, I realized that, oh, there was like a whitish in there. So I mean, this is not going to be the exact same design, but it is, well, I'm going to insert a picture so that you can see where I drew that inspiration from. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I did clean off this top edge here, and I wanted to show you how I did it. So I left this one, and with a fresh blade, and believe me, when you're messing with fabric, you want it to be a good, clean blade. So I don't want to get any crud in there. I'm going to, and yeah, I know you shouldn't pull towards you, but I'm being slow and careful and methodical. And it just comes right off. Can you see that little tiny strip? And then I'm going to go over it again, and I'm going to come down the front of the lip. Now I'm not putting a ton of pressure, so slipping should not be an issue. But you do want to be careful. And I'm just coming around the front a little bit to help expose a little bit of that stainless steel, so that when I have to sand this afterwards, I've already gotten rid of my fabric and I'm not fraying that out on the top. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. And it takes the glue that gets up there, gets that out of the way. But no big deal. You're going to have to do it again anyway when you do your cleanup from your resin and whatnot there. There, I wanted to show you that. And what I'm going to do is, I was going to do black and then the golds and then black and gold. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do one side of this strip is going to have the white mix glitter, and then this side I'm going to do the black, and then I'm going to do white again here and black here, leaving this dusty, what is this? Rustic Pink. I always want to call it Dusty Rose, but leaving some of that exposed. That all being said, I have my Mod Podge waiting for me, and I'm going to use my fluffy brush. Use that as my guide as to how wide my strip here will be of glitter. Get myself set up here. Get the top off of this so that we can just pour our little hearts out. And get my glue over here. Let's see. Get in there, you. All right. So we're going to start with the black, and I'm going to do it on this side and this side. That is so pretty. I do feel like I'm going to have to do something here. I'm almost tempted to put just a slight strip of this onto the black just to tie it in. So I wanted to show you quickly that I did put a small stripe next to the black, but I discovered that the gold was coming out of the white mix that I had, and I really liked the way it looked when it fell over onto the leopard print. So I poured it on there, and when I knocked it off, the white came off and the gold stayed. Also, onto the pink, when it stayed, it just gives this really cool shimmer. It's not much, but it still gives you the color of the paint. So I haven't sprayed this yet. I'm going to. But I wanted you to be able to see that before I go ahead and spray it. Is that not cool or what? I love it. But I'm going to spray it with clear, Rust-Oleum clear gloss. And then I will go ahead and epoxy it. So stay tuned. We're back. This has been epoxied twice, just to make sure that we had a good coat over top of this glitter, and you know, the dividing lines, the bump up and all that. I really like this part that I went over and dumped more glitter on. I hope you can see that. It's really pretty. You're going to see dull spots. There was just ever so slightly some spots that were not very smooth, and I wanted them nice and smooth so that we can put our vinyl on. Now, what I've decided to do with the vinyl is I have, let me see if I can get one of these that will actually show you, if you'll be able to see. I have cut very, very thin lines, and then I've cut a little bit thicker. Now, the very thin lines, and I'm going to try to pull one up here for you to see. Are about a 1/16 of an inch. About. I have the worst time trying to figure out what point 43729 is. I don't math, but I've cut 4 thicker in this color and 4 thinner. Now, I'm not going to need all that, but I do know me, and I know that I screw things up. And I did the same thing with black, and I did the same thing with gold. Stay tuned. Hey everybody. This came out so pretty. Better than I thought it was going to. I just love the different elements to this cup. I hope you enjoyed it too. And thanks for joining me. Be looking forward to an announcement for when we do our giveaway. It won't be this cup unless that's what the winner wants, but I will explain some things when we do our announcement for the giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers. We're up past that. We're almost to 1,200 subscribers. So it's time for me to get on the stick and get this giveaway done. But Thanks for hanging in there with me. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Welcome to my new subscribers. And from the head shed house rat, toodles.